Again, BMO Capital Markets top retail analyst Simeon Siegel. Just take it from there in terms of first a comment on just the general operating environment.
Okay, I think everything Court said makes a ton of sense. I actually need to be a dad for one moment.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Flat Stanley?
Yes, sure.
So you know Flat Stanley, the idea is kids take, elementary school kids send something to a star that they want, athlete, politician, music, whatever. Yesterday I got an addressed envelope to me.
You get the photo with it, yes.
And you're supposed to take that photo. My son sent one to me, and I didn't realize I got that yesterday, which is like this nice dad moment. So I need to bring for Micah his Flat Stanley. Sorry.
Excellent.
It was as I walked out today. But I think that the idea here that Courtney is talking about it makes a ton of sense. That the businesses are doing well. The operator's doing well. You and I, Black Friday, not that long ago, talked about the difference between taking risk to multiples versus taking risk to numbers.
Sure.
We're not seeing any problem with numbers. We're seeing problems with multiples. And your guest right before, and before that, we're talking about the same thing. We're seeing markets sell off, not businesses. And all my conversations this week, the conference that she's referring to, you're hearing a lot of companies look at their stocks, and they're confused.
They're confused because the stocks haven't reacted well to numbers. But that would assume, I suppose, though, that the stocks at some point had outperformed the fundamentals to get expensive.
100%. And they were confused about that, too. They just didn't want to admit it because it was working in the right direction. But I think what we saw, what we've learned through this week, through the ICR conference giving updates, through Target today, through everyone else, is that people are spending if you give them a reason to. Well, that reason might be promotions, but it's not always. But you have to decide what you want to spend for those numbers. And so are we going to continue to accelerate? Are those numbers going to be amazing? That's what happens to these stocks. That's why I think it's important when we go back to that conversation of, do you want to pay for the multiple or do you want to find a turnaround? It is important you know what you own because Abercrombie, I don't know if we pulled up that chart when she referenced it, but it did not have a very good day.
Yes.
If you looked at the results, you would have been very surprised by the reaction.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair point. And so taking risk on the valuation, as you presented it back when several weeks ago, was things like TJX.
Correct.
Right, where they do nothing wrong in terms of the actual results, but it's an expensive stock.
And it's the idea of just deciding, do I need to find you a surprise in the business? Or do I just rely on the fact that it's a great business, it's expensive, but it's expensive for a reason? And so TJX is one of those. There's other ones that fit that bill where I can't give you material earnings surprise, but I can give you compounding. And those are one category.
Yeah.
The other category, the ones where you have torque, the ones where you have real positive movements and surprise, those are ones where you have to be willing to get a little bit more dirty.
Well, and let's get to that because then you have the question of, is something cheap and neglected for good reason or not for a reason? So Capri Holdings is one, I think, that you're betting is more than meets the eye.
So I love this one. We haven't spoken about it because I just upgraded it last week. So this is a fairly new idea that I love. But I think you have a business, Capri, which owns Michael Kors, Versace, and Jimmy Choo. I think at this price, you're effectively getting Versace and Jimmy Choo for free. I don't think anyone has ever said those words. Like you get these two luxury businesses, but you have very low, you're going to love this. Very low revenues, very low margins, a lot of debt, buy the stock. Sounds ridiculous. But the point is you have a lot of pressure points. As each of those pressure points goes away or loosens, I think you're going to see the stock move a lot. And I think what happened, in a way that's different than other turnarounds you and I talk about, when brands overextend, they fill the field with promotions, they fill the field with logo, and you have to pull it back. You have to clean it up. Nike's going through that right now. I think what Michael Kors did, I think the Capri management walked away. They were supposed to get bought by Tapestry. I think as soon as that announcement started, everyone left because they felt you didn't know what your job was going to look like a year from now. And if you're management, you just made the deal of your life. Except you didn't. What's the cadence, though, of, I guess, that restoration effort? I mean, how many quarters are we talking about? So here's the beautiful part. Before we even talk about the company, debt represents more than 60% of this market cap right now. The only other time it was that high was during COVID. Neither of those, it's not because they took on more debt. It's because the market cap collapsed in both instances. When that happened during COVID, the market cap versus the enterprise value versus the actual value to the business exploded. Why? Because it generates a lot of cash. And so if you can generate cash and improve that net debt, you actually get the stock go up well before the business has to improve. I think that's going to happen again. Either they sell assets, either the Versace and Jimmy Choo are up for sale, or Michael Kors generates business. That will, I think, be the first opportunity for the stock, and I think it's material. Then we go back to this point of Nike needs to clean up. That takes effort. That takes work. If I'm right, if my hypothesis is right, that Michael Kors just needs to turn the light back on, people need to come back into the building. I'm being hyperbolic, but only a little bit. Right. Well, that fix can be much quicker. Are you getting asked, under the new administration, is some kind of a deal like they just walked away from or were forced to walk away from back on the table? yes, I would be surprised. I think that price was dramatically higher than where we are right now. I think, and I'm speaking beyond out of turn, this is my own opinion, I think that if both sides came back to the table, I think Tapestry would ask for it if they wanted to.
The bid ask is wide, in other words.
And so I don't know that this is as simple as new administration, it's back on because everyone was so happy to have it in motion.
Sure.
But we are talking about, the special sitch, we are talking about some assets up for sale.
Sure.
And so figuring out who wants what, could it be that different businesses want a piece of Capri? I mean, that could be. They're Michael Kors is a very different business than Versace and Jimmy Choo.
Yeah, sure. Interesting.